12 years in that division, and they're out.
Hey guys, welcome back to SEADOGS Can Fly. We've got two livecom games for you today. The first is a top of the table clash against South Shields before we play Accrington Stanley. That's right, it's the FA Cup first round. They're 3 leagues above us, so should be a tough game. We're then going to look at a crop of youth players that I'm now calling the class of 2020. They're new gens, they've got new faces, and we're going to see what their progress has been so far, as well as how they're adapting to life in the National League North, playing quite a bit of first team football. But before we jump into that, please do subscribe, hit the bell button and get notified of new episodes going live. I won't want you to miss out. And if you enjoyed the episode, please give us a thumbs up. I'd much appreciate it. Right guys, let's begin with the games that you missed out on since the York City draw. You may remember during that draw I was complaining about Patrick Blackman, saying I wanted to develop these new gens, but I was struggling a little bit because Blackman isn't quite ready for first team football. Well, he must have heard me because he proved me wrong, scoring this lovely goal against Solihull Moors, who are in the National League. That won us the game 1-0, sending us through to the first round, where we're going to play Accrington Stanley today. The next game was against Southport, and that one finished 4-0. Really easy away win. Bit of a goal mouth scramble for the first goal. Then Ryan Williams did really well to win the ball back, finding Fonseca for the second, slotting home into the bottom corner. The third goal was more of the same, little bit of a scramble, but it did eventually fall to Blackman, who again scored. This was only his second goal of the season, but what a stunner that one was. Quite similar in a way to the goal he scored in the last game, so I was happy to finally see him getting on the score sheet. And then the last goal was a lovely strike again from Fonseca. He keeps finding that bottom corner, which is really nice to see. We're not going to look at the highlights for the Telford game, but we did win 5-1, and it was a second string side that I fielded there, so that was nice to see. 17 shots, 9 on target, loads of clear-cut chances. Coulson, he's still banging them in the back of the net. He scored 6 despite only starting 2 games and coming off the bench 10 times. Okay guys, let's move on to the new gens and the class of 2020. We're going to pick 3 new gens to talk about today, and then we're going to talk about more in the next episode and so on and so forth. There's just too many to talk about in one episode. I want to begin with my favourite player, Josie Ramon. As you'll see, I've got some new faces in there. I've tried to pick ones that suit the players, the type of player they are, their size, their ethnicity, so hopefully we can all get a little bit attached to each player. Josie Ramon is a Spanish deep line playmaker, and we signed him at the very start of last season. You've already seen him a few times. He got 8 assists last season, he's already got 3 goals this season and a 7.39 average rating. But the most impressive part is his progress so far. If you have a look at his attribute increase, he's gone up by 3 in strength, stamina, positioning and composure, as well as 2s and 1s in a boatload of other areas. Massive improvement, and I think we're on to a bit of a gem here. They now think that he's got the ability to play at League 1 level one day, so hopefully we can keep him for a fair few years to come. Next one is a disappointment, and that's Jonathan Warburton. We mentioned his determination and ambition would be an issue. That's proven the case when you have a look at his development so far. He's actually decreased in his physicals and in some of these technicals. His mentals haven't done too terribly, but to be honest, unless that pace and acceleration is going to get better, we're not going to be able to use him long term, and I don't think he's going to make development based on his hidden attributes in the game. He has got 6 assists this season and 2 free kicks, which were brilliant goals. You'll see one of them now. So while he can pick these out of the bag every now and again, I just don't think long term that's enough to keep him in the team. We're probably going to be looking at other new gens to come in his stead. And last of all, Stefan Lecor for today's episode. This kid has shocked me. I said at the start of last episode that he was the worst signing we've made this season and he'll only be back up for Hamilton. He must have heard me, because since then, out of 13 games, he's scored 6 goals and got 10 assists from the right wing, linking up really nicely with Samba. His acceleration's gone up, his crossing's gone up. I think his dribbling went up as well. And he's a great player because he can head as well. You know, we've seen quite a few goals from him with headers. To have a quick look at his attribute increases, yeah, his anticipation, leadership and off the ball movement went up as well. So considering he's only been here for a few months, that's really, really impressive, and he's quite a fast player to boot. Right guys, that's enough for the class of 2020 for today. We'll look at some more on the next episode. Next up, we've got a huge game against South Shields at the top of the table. We're 5 points clear and we're hoping to extend the lead to 8 points away from home. Okay guys, the first game of this double header, South Shields, top of the table title clash. We are away from home, but we are favourites. We've beat these guys twice before. They play a 4-2-3-1 and we thrashed them away from home last season. So I'm going to go with my strongest 11 just about. You could argue Blackman and Josie Ramon aren't the better from Olzer and Vracas, but they have played well in comparison. So we're going to go with that side, I think. I just need to be wary that we've got a big game against Accrington Stanley coming up in the FA Cup. So I'm going to have to rest players at some point. Let's rile the lads up, tell them to go prove a point. It's an early highlight with Blackman dribbling through the middle of the pitch. He's thrown goal, but that was, well, it says it was a block. I thought that was just going wide anyway. Samba stands over the kick, in it comes. Hurst is under it, but can't do anything with it. Barazetta, the right back, moves it to Blackman. Blackman to Josie Ramon, who finds Samba. Warburton, the left back, just hits it straight into the keeper's hands. Like I was saying before, Warburton has been quite disappointing in terms of development, but he's been exceptional from that left back position. He's been solid as a rock, barely made a mistake. And he's got 6 assists as well. He's got an assist every other game so far this season. So I'm going to keep going with him for now, but we do need to look at that left back position at some point, I think. And the whole idea behind this class of 2020, I am obviously ripping off the class of 92, the Man United youth development team. I'm hoping to maybe build a little bit of, and they scored. Hall in behind. Kieran Hall makes it 1-0 for South Shields. That's a good start for them. Not so much so for us. Like I was saying, I'm hoping to build a team of new gens that we can all get attached to and hopefully bring with us through the leagues. It'll add another layer of challenge to it, trying to develop them and play them in the first team to do so. Because bear in mind, we're only a semi-professional team. So trying to develop these guys while we're in the National League North and most likely in the National League as well will be very difficult when they're only able to train every other day at the most. As Maffeo swings a corner in for South Shields, and I think that's a penalty. Yep. And just as I was saying Warburton doesn't make mistakes, he upends a player in the box. I need to learn to keep my mouth shut, I think. Maffeo, and I thought Bonnie was going to save it. But we're 2-0 down in a title decider. This is not a good start at all. The Scarborough that I've seen all season has not turned up so far. It's not much good, is it? Platt, the centre-back. Dilly-dallying around. Come on, get it to Fonseca. Williams can't do much. Josie Ramon to Blackman, who tries to thread the ball to Fonseca. The striker's in and he scores. That's his 10th goal of the season, which now takes him above Williams in the goal-scoring charts. Barazetta, I don't know what he's going to... Oh, what was wrong with that? Ah, elbow apparently. So Barazetta's thrown an elbow in someone's face, and that now leaves us short on the right side. I'm going to leave things as they are right now. I'm not going to bring a striker off, and we're going to be a bit short-handed on the right wing, just to see if we can get another goal back before I do make any changes. Williams into Fonseca. There you go. That's the first goal. 2-2, 11th of the season for Fonseca. A nice assist there from Ryan Williams. We've seen that link up between them both. They've formed a really good partnership already in the National League North, which is good to see. And the core is solid when he picks that ball up in the advanced position. Very rarely gives it away, which is nice to see. Right, we need to pick our moment, boys, to switch the formation. I don't want to be short at right back and end up conceding more goals. But equally, if we take a striker off now, we're going to end up just hoofing the ball forward in a hit and hope with no striker there to pick it up. Could be a break on for Samba. We've got 3-on-3. Good pass to Fonseca. Good first touch. And he scores his 12th goal of the season. What a strike. Pure inspiration. A hat-trick for Fonseca. He has been probably the outstanding signing of the season so far, I would say. I think you'd have to agree. Definitely a good player to bring in. And we got him as probably one of our last signings as well. So Happy with that. We're going to have to think about that right back position. Like I said, I haven't forgotten about it. But at the moment, we're playing well and we're winning. So as Williams gets in behind, can he finish this off? Ryan Williams, good save by Kelly. LaCour picks up the ball down the right wing. Good threaded pass to Williams. Williams, what can he do? Finds Fonseca, and he's offside. I thought that was going to be 4-2, but unfortunately not. We're playing better with 10 men than we were with 11. Long throw for LaCour. The Frenchman gets the throw in. Good header out. Low hits it long. Are they in behind? Gilchrist. Platt. Good tackle. Great tackle from the ex-Blackburn centre-back. As Williams has gone the break. He's not got afterburners, but he is a composed and consistent player. Gets to the ball to LaCour. LaCour finds Fonseca offside. Again. Oh, that's frustrating, isn't it? 2 goals disallowed. Well, this has been all action so far. Tell the lads we appreciate it. Send them out with a pat on the back and let's try and get a 4th goal. Warburton with the long throw. Kelly plucks it out the air. Well, so far they've not exploited that gap at right back. Josie Ramon with a good header there. LaCour picks up the loose pass. Blackman to Hurst. Hurst to LaCour. The class of 2020 linking up lovely there. LaCour, lovely piece of skill, cuts inside, gets it to Samba, who scores. Bang, what a goal. And I've said it time and time again, that link-up play between the 2 wingers, we've seen it so often this season. LaCour and Samba both getting on the end of each other's crosses. It is a joy to watch. Look at this cross here from LaCour and Samba with the header. Brilliant, 4-2. Now is the time to make the switch, boys. Now's the time. I think we will get Ryan Williams off first of all, because we need Fonseca with his speed in behind. Williams isn't fast enough to play up there on his own, in my opinion. Now the question is, who do we bring on at right back? I think we'll go with Olzer. Diego's bringing the ball forward for South Shields. Are they going to get a goal here? Swung it in. Oh, what a save from Bonnie. Absolutely sensational save. Kept us in the game there. We're winning 4-2. We should hopefully see this game out. But I think to be safe, we're going to tell these lads here to ease off tackles if I haven't done so already. And we're actually going to, as well, get another change done. I think we'll have Hall on up front instead of Fonseca, because I need Fonseca in the next game. And I'm going to bring LaCour off because he was absolutely immaculate over the last couple of games. And I don't want him to be too fatigued for the next match. We're going to regroup and hold our shape and go to a cautious mentality. And that way, I'm hoping that as South Shields come further and further forward, we're going to be able to hit them on the break. All's there with the long throw. Hall's a bit too small, unfortunately, to do out with that. Blackman back to out to All's there. Works the ball back. Good cross in. Samba can't do much with it. Warburton, the left back. Nice cross in to Hamilton, and that would have been a great goal. Well, this game has been ridiculously long, guys, so certainly getting value for money today. But the last 20 minutes have flown by. Since we've gone to that cautious mentality and we regrouped, it has flown by, and we scored. Connor Hall finishes the game off. That makes it 5-2. I think that's testament to how that tactical switch actually worked. The fact that there were no highlights suggests to me there were no opportunities for South Shields to come forward and break on us, and then for us likewise to maybe break on them. Josie Ramon squeezes the ball to Blackman. The Newgens to Samba. Warburton to Blackman. Class of 2020, screw it up. Halls, another Newgen. Gets the ball to Diego. He looks like he's in on goal. And that is a great finish. Really good finish from Diego. 3-5. Well, I think it was 6-2 last season, the away leg. So, to be fair, we've had the same amount of goals. And that's the game, guys. So I'm really happy with that. We've now got an 8-point lead at the top of the table. So let's skip on quickly to the Accrington Stanley game, because I'm wary this episode is going to be very long if we don't get to it soon. Okay, guys, just clicking my way through to the game itself for Accrington Stanley, and this popped up in my inbox. Stéphane Lecour's improved so much, or at least their opinion of him has, that he's now deemed to be a good player for League 2. That's pretty impressive, and he's got the potential to be a League 1 player, so really excited about this kid now, considering I thought he was just going to be back up for Hamilton. Accrington Stanley are in League One, and I've just had a quick look. They're actually 10th in the table, only 3 points off a playoff spot, so they are going reasonably well at the moment. We also need to get Blackman off because he's a little bit fatigued, as well as Ramon. And their side does look pretty good, in fairness. They've got some very, very tasty looking players, which I'll show you in just a second. So we're up against it, that's for certain. This is not going to be an easy game by any means. Clark, he's a standard above any of our players, I would say. He scored 7 goals this season. Who have they got on the right wing? Edwards? Yeah, so they've got a good all-round team, to be fair, looking through that. Right, let's get into the game itself. We can look at the team all day long. It isn't going to change our game plan, in fairness. As Hurst swings a great cross in. Oh my days, somebody get it in. Is it in? Vrakas has scored. I don't quite know what happened there. Apparently that was from a Lee Hurst assist, which can only mean that they're suggesting that it was from the free kick. I don't know how that's a Hurst assist, to be fair. It's just a complete screw-up by Accrington Stanley, but we will take it. 1-0 up in the FA Cup first round. Bear in mind, we've only just gone up to the National League North, and there's the National League and League Two separating these two clubs. As we get in behind LaCour, nearly. But they're camped out, aren't they? Camped out in their own half. Not an awful lot going forward either, so this is interesting tactics from Accrington Stanley, considering they're the bigger team. LaCour with a ball over the top to Cortazar. Oh, pick that one out, son. What a strike. 6 goal season for Mikel Cortazar. That link-up I keep telling you all about between LaCour and the other wing. It's usually Samba, today it's Cortazar, but look at this for a pass. LaCour pings it straight over the top, and then Cortazar does the rest. That's a really good finish. He is a brilliant player to have as backup on the left side for Samba. Warburton works the ball to Vrakas, who chips it into LaCour, heads it across, Platt's in there, gets his head on the ball, and that's been allowed. We're 3-0 up in the FA Cup first round, boys. Look at the fans going nuts. Wow, what a performance this is. Really, really happy with this. And you can see the stadium's packed out. Not many Accrington Stanley fans. They won't be fancying the trip back. Joe Maguire's got a booking for Accrington Stanley as well, as Evtimov gets the ball swung out to the wing, and Sykes gets the ball through. They're in behind. Pritchard. Good finish. Not a lot could have done about that other than stopped the ball coming in behind. I'm not quite sure who should have been picking up Pritchard there. We're too zoomed in on the camera angle to see it. Yeah, they're just letting bloody get away. It's terrible defending. Push too high up. Oh, I'm not liking these counters. Right. As soon as this highlight's done, I'm switching tactic because we're going to get picked apart here if we're not careful. Edwards is in behind. Swings the ball in. Header. Over the bar. Right. I've seen enough, boys. Right, so we're going to cautious mentality. I'm also going to tell them to not get stuck in because that may be an issue. And we're going to go to attack a little bit more narrow. I'm just going to pull this off. Make sure that these guys aren't told to get stuck in. That's okay. Tackle harder. No, it's Matt. Yeah, tackle harder. I need to get that off. And also tackle harder. Let's get that off you as well. Sorted. Right. Hopefully that'll show things up a bit because they are getting in behind. They are exploiting that high line that we play in the high press. 3-1 at half time. I'm hoping we can see this one out. You'll hear me mention time and time again now in this series the class of 2020. That is going to become a thing. So if you're not into that, I'm sorry. It ain't going to change. I am really excited about the young players we've got in the squad. You know, the likes of Blackman, I think he could really develop in central midfield in that box-to-box midfielder role if some of his stats come along nicely. Hurst is going to be a man-mountain at centre-back for us, and I honestly think he could be around for a long time as Fonseca's in behind and he finishes to make it 4-1. Ryan Williams with the assist, another one of the class of 2020, 17 years old, gets another assist. And this is a great performance. We're playing really well. Warburton getting involved there as well with a great pass to Williams. So, all in all, this is fantastic. I couldn't ask for much more coming up against a team that's 3 leagues above us. Good clearance. Ramon. What a pass to Fonseca. He's in behind. And the Italian misses just wide. But that's what I'm talking about with Ramon. That's why we've brought him on. Really, really great player for those long balls over the top in games just like this. The clock's ticking down. We've now got a minute left, boys. I think we've done it. 4-1 victors in the FA Cup with a fully packed out stadium at the Flamingo Land. Can we score one more? lkeague's in behind. That's a great tackle from Pritchard. Very well defended. Just waste time. Ball comes in though. Samba, Hall, goal. Very well worked there. There were 6s and 7s at the back, but that was a lovely little finish, and Samba with a nice little knockdown to Hall. Hall's 4th goal of the season. He's been terrible so far, but he's not done too badly off the bench today, to be fair. That was a great cross there from lkeague. Be interesting to see who we get in the second round of the FA Cup and how much money we actually get from winning this game as well. From the ticket revenues, because we virtually sold the stadium out, other than the fact that the away fans didn't fill out their allocation. But a great performance there. I mean, you look at Lee Hurst, what a giant. 8.3 average rating at the age of just 17. He's a fresh-faced kid coming to the team, and he's really taken to that centre-back role. Right, boys, let's have a look, see what we got money-wise from that. So 36 grand for going through, which isn't to be sniffed at for a team like us. Let's have a quick look at the finances. 323 grand now. That's gone up by at least £90,000 since I last looked. So I would say we probably got maybe around 100 grand for that one game, which when you're talking we were only in 200 grand before it, that is really big for the club. I'll leave you a link to a tactical review of the tactic I used with Scarborough and I used with York as well, just in case you guys want to take a look at that. And the next episode should be up on either Friday night or Saturday, probably around 11ish, I would say. So look out for that, but follow us on Twitter and you'll be notified. Equally, just subscribe and click the bell button. That way you'll get notified when the episode does go live. And give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode, guys. That'd be much appreciated as well. Okay, chaps, I'll see you later.